We have the steering motor mounted. At least we have the gearbox end of it mounted down at the bottom here. And as we showed before, I'd like to be able to reinforce the motor section. I want to ground the motor, mechanically ground the motor to the frame, and the gearbox is mounted to the frame. So what that's going to do is take more of the torque out of the bolts that hold these together. There's long, thin bolts that hold the gearboxes together, and I don't think they'll handle the ongoing back and forth. I don't think it's designed for that, so I think the bolts will end up loosening up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce, I'm going to make a plate that goes under this section of the motor and gets mounted to the frame. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the process of laying that out. This is one of the things you'll end up doing as you're fabricating and building things. Let me just get the camera mounted here. And so here, what we're going to do is I'm just going to lay this out. I found a piece of aluminum. It doesn't, the shape of this thing, so we have a couple of shapes. We have the square shape, which is the frame, has the pipes are square to each other, and the motor is round. So I have, this is actually another one of the motors that's in the steering, so I have another one, so I can get the pattern, the bolt pattern and everything off of this. So this is actually really handy that I can have this built here and then transfer it to there. So we can get the dimensions off of this and we can transfer them to this piece of metal. So what we're going to do to get started is because we're dealing in higher accuracy numbers, thousandths of an inch. I'm probably manufacturing this to like 10,000ths of an inch accuracy, which isn't great, but for a little go-kart, it's fine. But to lay this out, I'm going to do a couple of things. One of the things I'm going to do is this is aluminum, and I'm going to use a scribe, not a pencil. But if you put a mark on it like that, it's a bit hard to see. So they have this, what they call layout blue. And I don't really like the aerosol version of it, but when it's gone, I'll replace it. So we're just going to blue that up a little bit. Now, while that's drying, the size of this thing doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't matter that whether it sticks out or a little bit. We can trim it if it's too big. We can adjust it if it's too, I don't think it's too small. So I'm going to just try to get as much out of this piece of material as I can. So some tools we're going to use here. We're going to use a combination square. This normally has a center finder head and a protractor head on it, but we're only going to use the square section of it. We're going to use it for both measuring, right? We can set that up into here and pick a measurement and transfer it over, or we can use it as a square. And the fact that it slides, the fact that it slides is we can use it, it's very very versatile. It'll fit in lots of places, and we can use it for moving measurements over. We're going to use our dial caliper. We're going to use this to get the accurate holes to lay it out for these things, right? These need to be really accurate. So we're going to use these as tools to find the distance that these holes are apart. Another very handy tool are dividers. So dividers are they don't give you a number, but they're really good at comparing sizes of things. If this distance from this hole, the distance from this hole to this hole is probably the same distance. It's a really fast way to kind of compare sizes of things. And it's also good, you need to draw a circle. So if you're going to draw the bolt circle for that right there, this is a compass for using metal. But as you notice, it's just points. And those points are now designed to scribe this blue. So what I want to do is I want to get the most out of this material that I possibly can. So I'm just going to use this square. This is the shortest length, the shortest of the one side. So I'm just going to get that dimension, and I'm going to compare it to this dimension, and it looks like this dimension is longer than this one. So I'm just going to make this square. I'm going to take, actually, you know what? I'm going to make it as long as possible. We might need just that extra little bit, but now we need to know that it's not square anymore, because it changes kind of how we think about things. Okay, it's not square, which doesn't make a huge difference, but we have to bear in mind that if it's meant to go this way or this way, we have to, make sure we keep our numbers right. So I'm going to go cut this.